You guys know all those back to school bloggers that actually aren't going back into school after the season and they're just doing it for the video and trying to be relatable? Well, I'm actually one of them, except for the fact that I don't have montage B-roll and I don't look as pretty as all of those damn hot girls out there. Hey mom and random people on the internet watching this right now, it's Zizi and I went to school once. No, but basically I graduated from like the German version of high school last year. But basically I really feel you guys if you are the ones that are actually going back into school or back into college at the moment. Now I personally know that this was actually probably the most stressful time of all of my life. I struggle with anxiety, especially social anxiety, and also depression, and therefore I'm not that kind of a productivity pro, to be honest. However, when it came to studying in high school, I actually found quite a few tips and tricks that I personally found very helpful, and that kind of helped me prevent stress in school right in the beginning of the school year. So if you want to know all my little tips and tricks on how to study stress-free, you better keep watching. Obviously, the main thing that you need to do if you want to get good grades in school, if you kind of want to have an awesome time, if you just like want to do your best in school, which actually you will definitely profit from later in your life. Guys, school is like so easy if you know how to do it, and you can do it and we all can do it, and you can get good grades and they will actually help you a lot in your future. So the number one thing you need to do to kind of get those good grades and to kind of do good in school and to kind of also feel good about yourself is obviously to get productive. I've actually done a whole video on that topic, especially when you are suffering from depression and you want to get productive, or you just like have a hard time sitting down and getting things done. So if you are interested in a video that kind of goes more into depth when it comes to productivity in general, you can definitely check out that video and I will link it down below for you guys. However, when it comes to school and when it comes to studying, I feel like getting productive is really hard. Like, it is harder than in general, because obviously you have so many subjects that you are just not interested in. So obviously it's really hard to kind of motivate yourself to actually study for those subjects, which, as I said before, is actually really important. Sadly, all your grades matter, guys. That's just how the whole like system works. I don't know. This is a whole other topic to talk about. Basically, the main thing you want to do, especially like in the beginnings of the school year, is to get organized. Because if you don't get organized right in the beginning, you won't stay organized and you won't get organized during the school year. Like, you won't do that. That's not possible. There are actually so many little things that kind of help you with like getting organized in those first few weeks. The first thing I always did since like first grade, my mom taught me this, I always did it every single day. I did this and it helped me all through high school, all through middle school, through all the schools basically, and it is to simply pack your bag the night before. This might sound really basic, but it really helps, guys. Like, if you think about it, getting up in the morning and like having to think about all those things you need to bring to school is such a stress factor right in the morning, and you don't want to get stressed before even getting to school. So simply pack your bag the night before. What kind of goes with that as well is lay out your outfit the night before. I also really enjoyed doing this. I kind of enjoy fashion sometimes. I know you wouldn't think it looking at me right now, but I always made sure to kind of choose from my sweater collection and from my jeans collection in the evenings. So then the next morning I wouldn't have to stand in front of my wardrobe kind of stressing out and running out of time before my bus comes. If you take your time to choose your outfits the night before, you will feel comfortable and confident in those clothes. And that's the main goal, to be honest, because stressing out about your physical appearance is a really big thing, especially like in high school. And by simply like kind of choosing your outfit, you can definitely limit that to a minimum. And it's basically so easy to do so why not try it out? Anyway, back to school stuff. As I said, you should definitely try to also kind of pack your bag the night before, and what kind of goes with that is having a system when it comes to your binders, your school books, like all your like college blocks. Now, I used to have all my books that I needed for different classes all in one place in my room. This is actually like my pro tip number one, because you won't end up searching for your book in the whole household and you won't find it that way. Just have it at one place and always put it at that one place. Now what also kind of goes with that is having a packing list, because as I said, you really want to pack your bag in a organized way. So having a list for every single day of the week can actually be quite helpful. I simply used to take out my timetable in the evenings, and then I used to be like, okay, I have mathematics, I need this book for mathematics, I also need this binder for mathematics, so I'm gonna put it in my bag. Then I was like, okay, for English class I will need that book, I also will need my dictionary, and just like having your little list for every single day of the week will help you to stay organized and to also kind of always have the things you will need with you, and also just pack like really quickly, because you exactly know what you need to bring and you can just like stuff it in your bag. You won't have to take the heavy bag with shit you don't need. Talking about shit you don't need, why don't you subscribe to this channel? Now obviously this was all kind of about like preparation and about evening before preparation, but when it actually comes to studying like after school, I also have a few tips for you. In my other video on productivity, I talked about managing time in particular, so if you are interested, once again the link is down below. But I think especially when it comes to school and kind of studying for so many different things and just like never getting a break from studying, to be honest, I think it's really important that you manage your time in a realistic way. We all know that one Saturday, like once in a year, when you wake up and you feel like, oh my gosh, today I'm gonna get all the things done, and you take out your notebook and you write down a to-do list. Now this is actually awesome. I never used to do this, so props to you. But let's be real, you will write down so many things on your to-do list that there is no chance of actually getting all those things done in one day. Now you obviously want to kind of get this list to motivate you to actually get things done, but let's be real guys, like from my own experience I know that a long list actually did the exact opposite. My pro tip for you is to not only like manage your time in particular, like let's say you will put down from 2 to 3 p.m. I want to study on this subject, and then from 3 to 4 p.m. I want to kind of concentrate on a complete different thing. Obviously this will really help you, I talked about it in the other video, but I think it's also just like important to not kind of put too many things on your to-do list. Like just be realistic with the time you have, like put less things on your to-do list. You will actually feel so rewarded and like so happy that you actually got all the things on your list done. So you better kind of write a single list for every single day rather than like an entire list for the whole week, because you will lose so much motivation through that. I think that kind of comes with the whole to-do list kind of thing, is to get the work you don't want to do done first. I think you all know what I mean by that. No, but basically we all have a subject that we really hate, we all have a subject that we aren't really good at and that we just kind of don't want to study for, that we will probably never really need in life ever again. So basically I always made sure that I had my list of things I want to get done, and then I did the things that I hated the most on that list first. Some people might say, no, I want to do the things that are more fun in the beginning because they will really motivate and kind of inspire me to keep going. But for me that didn't work. I had to kind of do the things that I hated first, and then I could move on to things that were actually really easy for me and that I also kind of didn't need that much energy and concentration for. For example, mathematics actually happened to be a subject that I was really good at, which is like so strange because normally people hate mathematics. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I found it quite boring, but I just happened to be like really good at it. So I could just sit down and do my math homework and stuff, and it would just like go so easy. So I always made sure to keep that last, because I also actually kind of knew that if I don't find the time to do those exercises, that won't matter because I will do good in the class test either way. And if I actually find the time, that's totally fine as well, because it will be such a rewarding feeling to kind of do something that you're really good at in the end of like this whole studying session. So pro tip from my side, always start with like the worst subjects and then kind of work your way towards the subjects that are actually really easy for you. Also on the topic of subjects that actually aren't very easy and actually are very hard for you guys, why don't you find a friend or like a classmate that actually kind of does well in those subjects? Like study groups are such a good idea, always. But make sure to find people that actually want to get like productive as well, and that you can actually like kind of trust when like sharing your work with them, because otherwise it won't work out. Also a thing to always remember, whether you are studying on your own or like in a little group, is to take things one at a time. Now this might sound very difficult because obviously you have so many different subjects that you should kind of do work for, and you are probably like stressing out in your head thinking about all the other things that you need to do after the thing you are doing right now. But trust me, if you kind of get organized in the beginning and you plan ahead, this will actually work. Like for example, if in the upcoming week you'll have a math exam, you'll have an English exam, and you'll also have like, I don't know, a history class test, whatever it might be. If you properly planned ahead and if you kind of got organized like 2 weeks before the whole thing is kind of going down, you can then take a whole afternoon to only concentrate on mathematics. And then the day after that, you will take your whole afternoon to only concentrate on your paperwork for history class. I don't know, whatever, you get what I mean. I think this is something that really everyone should try to do because it will really help you to kind of focus on a subject and actually kind of think about all the aspects on that subject, kind of also connect different things that you are studying for the class test. Like, it will make just so much more sense, guys. To be honest, I think I'm gonna stop rambling soon, but I also wanted to quickly mention that I think the most important thing to do when being productive, when studying, when going to school, and when actually trying really hard to get good grades and all those kind of things, I think it's really important to set an amount of time every single day to just like kind of do what you want to do and to kind of have free time. This, like, I don't know, half an hour, maybe even just like 15 minutes are for your own happiness. And they're so important. You need to relax. Otherwise you won't be productive, and like the whole studying thing just won't be as good as it could be if you take that time. You can use that time for whatever you feel comfortable with. Like, you can watch a episode of your favorite series. You can like go for a run, like can't relate. Also, another great alternative, if you are actually kind of feeling yourself getting kind of stressed in that moment, try to like meditate, even like listen to a podcast, just like sit there and breathe for a second can feel really good. It will actually kind of help you to get back into things and to kind of work to your full potential on things. So if you take one thing away from this video, it is to never forget to put yourself first. You can believe in your goals, you can work towards your goals, you can work very, very hard for your future, but you should never forget the present. Like, you are living right now and you should have the best time. And if things don't work out, don't lose hope. You take little steps and you will reach your goals. I promise you guys. Wow, what a positive note to end the video on. So I really hope there was something useful for you guys in this video. Definitely leave a comment down below on when you are starting school, if you have started yet, which grade you are going into, and also if you have a study tip that I didn't mention in this video but you think might actually help other people, definitely also leave that down below. If you enjoyed my little rant on school and all those kind of things, definitely leave this video a thumbs up, and I will know that I maybe might do some other videos on the topic. Actually, if you have anything particular, also leave that in the comments down below. I would actually like to kind of talk about being anxious and like social anxiety in school, maybe. I don't know if you are interested. If you struggle with that, I actually have a whole video on social anxiety and how to kind of handle it in like public situations, and I will definitely leave that in the end card and also in the links down below. If you aren't already, I would be very happy to welcome you to the fam, so definitely subscribe and click the bell. It would mean the world to me. You can then also check out my other social medias. I would love to get to know you guys a little bit more. So enough self-promo for one video. I will just shut the fuck up. Thank you for wasting your time with me today. Okay, bye! I don't even know why I'm vlogging today. Not that I'm ever doing anything exciting, to be honest. This is actually going up on 9/11. This day really changed the world, you know? All of the people like living on planet Earth are victims of this attack. I was 2 when this whole thing went down, but I still remember it. Disgusting.